Wake up, buddy. Sleeping out here will land you in jail today.
Man, I'm not hurting anybody. Just trying to rest.
Get the hell up. You think I'm playing?
Glad you finally showed your true colors. Undercover police chief, congratulations, you're fired.
A senior officer disguised as a vulnerable civilian placed in a public location waiting to see how patrol officers would respond. The tests weren't traps, they were mirrors. Officers who approached with professionalism, offered resources, and treated people with dignity passed without ever knowing they'd been evaluated. Officers who defaulted to intimidation, mockery, or force revealed exactly who they were when they thought no one important was watching. Only 3 people knew the schedule: the chief of police, the deputy chief of operations, and the head of internal affairs. Rookie officers were prioritized for testing because the department had learned a hard truth: bad habits formed early were nearly impossible to break later. Tyler Knox's test was scheduled for April 16th at 7:30 a.m. in Stonebrook City Park.
Captain Elijah Ward was 52 years old and had spent the last 11 years running internal affairs for Stonebrook PD. Before that, he'd worked narcotics, gang enforcement, and homicide. He'd been shot twice, decorated 4 times, and respected universally, not because he was soft, but because he was fair. Ward didn't play politics. He didn't cover for bad cops. He investigated complaints with the same rigor whether they involved a rookie or a deputy chief, and he'd personally recommended termination for 17 officers during his tenure. Ward was also black. That detail mattered because it shaped how he understood the stakes of integrity testing. He knew what it felt like to be profiled, to be treated as suspicious simply for existing in certain spaces. He knew the difference between an officer who genuinely couldn't tell the difference between a threat and a person, and an officer who simply didn't care. On the morning of April 16th, Ward arrived at Stonebrook City Park at 6:45 a.m. He wore layers of weathered clothing, a faded brown jacket with a torn pocket, dark jeans stained at the knees, scuffed work boots with the laces frayed. His graying hair was unkempt. He hadn't shaved in 3 days. A worn canvas backpack sat beside him on the bench, the kind you'd see at a thrift store or a shelter donation bin. He looked tired. He looked forgotten. He looked exactly like the kind of person some officers believed didn't deserve courtesy. The bench he chose was painted blue bright, positioned along the main walking path near the park's east entrance.